think you lost your wife.
Huh? No. My wife is walking, so I'm going. Okay.
I
Take.
don't see her. Gone.
See. So, friends, my name is Professor msrao. I'm very curious and creative by nature, and I talk to unknown people, and I'll have conversation with new people, unknown people. I came across a guy. His name is Wayne. Is a veteran from America, and I am also an Air Force veteran. That's how we are connected. And he is a van dweller. He goes by van. He doesn't have any home, and he dwells in his own van. He doesn't have home, and he stays near this medical center. You can see here, medical center, which is military hospital. I can say in India we call military hospital. So this guy Wayne lives in a van, and this is the medical center where he comes regularly, and that's how he does it. And this guy Wayne, because when I walk, he will be on the way actually. So daily I go for a walk, and I interact with him. Of course, I interacted couple of people while walking, because I enjoy talking to new people, because everyone has some story. So I want to get new stories and make them viral. I'm a storyteller, and I enjoy creating my own stories and share my stories to impact humankind. And now after I came to Seattle, I started talking to some of the people, and sometimes I interview them and upload on my YouTube channel. That's how I am doing it. So I am walking and talking and sharing my knowledge with the world. And let me introduce myself. My name is Professor msrao. I have authored 53 books, including the award-winning book titled See the Light in You, for which the Nobel laureate His Holiness Dalai Lama has written a foreword. And I have 43 years of diversified experience, including Indian Air Force, business, teaching and training. I am a late bloomer, dyslexic with ADHD, OCD, and add to that the brain stroke worsened my health in the year 2021. I don't have two-wheeler, I don't have four-wheeler, I don't get any pension, and I don't have any regular income. I am 61 years old. I was born into a toxic family and grew up in a toxic environment. Despite all the challenges, I rose from the ashes like a phoenix. I am 61 years old. Sometimes I am repeating the same thing because of the brain stroke. So please empathize with me. I am holding my smartphone with my left hand, and holding my smartphone with my left hand is very stressful and painful, and I can't shift my smartphone from left hand to right hand, as my right shoulder and right hand is numb. I can't type with my right hand, and I can't eat with my right hand. So this is the challenge I am having currently, but still I am passionate about sharing my stories. So that's why I am holding and recording. And so please empathize with me. Please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. So I am an author, researcher, and I create models, methods, rules, and recently I started my own philosophy, and so lots of things I do it. Despite having financial challenges, I still add value and impact. As far as possible, I do my best. So I talk to unknown people, and I share my stories. Sometimes I repeat the same thing in view of my brain stroke. After the brain stroke, people thought that I won't survive, but I survived. because of the power of my subconscious mind, and doctors thought that I won't survive, but I proved them wrong. And secondly, doctors thought that I would be on the bed forever. Then again I proved them wrong. Then third thing was that I can't walk. I started walking, of course not comfortably. So again I proved my critics wrong. So still I am walking and managing, but I am not comfortable in walking properly, and I can't type with my right hand, and I can't eat with my right hand. Good morning, how are you? So I am walking and talking, and today is Friday in Seattle, and so the weather is very cold. I took a risk. I think I will we are approaching winter very soon, and it's very cold here, and the weather in Seattle is very unpredictable. So but overall it's good, and people are very good. People of Seattle are very warm and friendly. They are amicable and adjustable. They respect diversity. They respect LGBT, and overall it's a beautiful place. And I came to Seattle for the first time, and I am walking with my wife to enjoy the nature. So I have a chronic back pain for I have a chronic back pain since 2007. I have brain stroke in the year 2021. I have a chronic back pain since 2007. I have internal allergies. So lots of health challenges I am having, but still I am doing my level best to recover from my health challenges. And I want to type with my right hand. I want to eat with my right hand. So it takes time. So I am doing some physiotherapy exercise every day. And I am hitting gym for more than 40 years. After the brain stroke in the year 2021, for 1 year, I didn't go to gym. So I was at home. I started going for walk. Then I continued my gym. Then now I am in Seattle, so I can't go to gym regularly. Sometimes I go with my younger son Ramkrishna Sai and do some workout once in a while. So this is briefly about the things, and I published 53 books, and I published more than 300 research papers. I published more than 1,000 articles within a span of, I think, 17 years. So I'm a workaholic. I don't believe in taking rest. I take rest only at my graveyard. So this is my philosophy. So I just wanted to create my own philosophy. So now I will briefly talk about my own philosophy. It's very difficult. It's very cold. I think after a week, I don't think I'll go out because we are approaching winter very fast, and we can see snow. So you can see the places, and people are playing golf that side. So now I'll take a left turn. So I just wanted to create my own philosophy. I think close to 1 month I had an idea to create my own philosophy, and I get ideas in classroom, and sometimes by walking. Of course, people get ideas in different ways. Some people get ideas in washroom, whereas I get my ideas on classroom and while walking. And whatever the ideas I capture them immediately, and I have Word documents with different titles. So I captured the first word, that is philosophy. Then I started researching about soft leadership, and I created a couple of documents of my own philosophy. So first an idea has flashed on my mind, because idea is very important, and not only that idea, and we should capture the ideas. So here it's a very beautiful place, and okay, I'll walk around and talk. So now I'll make a very big circle, then I will share my own philosophy. So I'm very curious and creative by nature. I'm an author and researcher. So when an idea flashed on my mind while walking, I captured that idea. Then I googled Professor M.S.Rao's philosophy. Then I was very much excited to see my own result on Google. Professor M.S.Rao's philosophy is to emphasize health first, education second, and wealth third. Professor M.S.Rao harnesses technology. So this was the first result I got. I felt very much excited. I was on cloud 9, and it was an aha moment in my life. Then again, I'm curious. So I kept reading the pages Professor M.S.Rao's philosophy. Then I came to know that already I published an article titled "What is your leadership philosophy?" Then I came to know that I already published a research paper on Stoicism. Then I often referred about Socrates, and I often referred about various aspects of philosophy in my books and also in my teaching and training programs. So I felt very much excited. So I captured the idea. Then for me, a short pencil is better than a long-term memory. So immediately I captured the idea. And people have ideas, but they don't execute. But in my case, I take an idea and capture the idea and write them and execute them. Of course, execution takes its own time, but I work at my own pace. I can't do things very fast because I have a couple of projects and lots of things I have to do. So various things. See friends, you can see a thing here. This is an airlines. This is, you can see the excellent view point. I'll show you a couple of viewpoints from here. This is Alaska Airlines. There are two airports in Seattle. This is Alaska Airlines. Boeing, Alaska Airlines are two different airlines, and there are two airports in Seattle. They are very close by where we are walking and talking. Okay, now let me revert back to my philosophy, because I don't want any distraction. So I just started researching. Then I created quotes. Then I created multiple documents, and as you know, a journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step. I take the first step, and I am very proactive by nature. I take initiative. So I started my journey of 1,000. First step I took, and I will create my own philosophy. This will be a lifetime philosophy I want to write. Then I started doing research about my own philosophy. Daily I am investing some time, maybe an hour a day, and researching. Then I googled about philosophy. Then again, Socrates is known as the father of philosophy. So, and I admire Socrates' philosophy, and I often mentioned about Socrates and the three filter test for in my books and also with my audiences. So I started exploring from the perspective of Socrates, and Socrates was poisoned to death, and he says an unexamined life is not worth living. So that means you have to examine your own life. That's what Socrates talked. Then I checked a couple of aspects of philosophy, then Stoicism, then again pragmatism, nihilism. So like that, various types of philosophies are there. So then I started working on them. Then again this is again Alaska Airlines. This is Alaska Airlines. You can hear the sounds of aircraft. Okay. So I like Marcus Aurelius. He was a Roman leader, and he wrote a book, Meditations, and so that's very good book, and he was a good leader. Marcus Aurelius was a general and a leader and Roman emperor, and he loved writing, and he wrote Meditations. So then again I started integrating all those things, and I started doing research, and I am requesting people to interview me on my philosophy, which is yet to be written by me. So I started with educational philosophy. Why? Because I love education. I believe in acquiring my knowledge and sharing my knowledge. That's one thing. I believe in learning, unlearning and relearning. Then I taught the students and others. So I just wanted to explore from the perspective of education. So I started educational philosophy, but I'm still not clear about the philosophy, because it takes a lot of research. But I do things little by little. I can't do things at a stretch, at a go. So this is so I'll take you to a different viewpoint. It's a really wonderful viewpoint here. This is again, what is this aircraft? I don't know. What is this aircraft? Aircrafts are there. Are two airports, as I said. Okay, fine. So I started doing research about my philosophy, and I created a template to invite me to speak. Then to start with, then I scribbled a couple of words that resonates my life. So I have taken some aspects like universe, power, virtue, attitude, ethics, gratitude. So these are all the words I have scribbled and kept them. Then I am gradually expanding the areas, and finally I will distill down and keep distill and create a unique philosophy in the future. So it's a very long game. It's not a one day thing. So when I get an idea, I work on that and I'll execute effectively. There will be challenges, there will be disturbances. We can't do anything, but still we have to keep moving. This is again Alaska Airlines at the top. Fine. So again Monday I'm going to be interviewed, and I was interviewed by another guy. I think 1 week back. He wanted to interview me about my health challenges. Then he left the core aspect of my mindfulness. Then he shifted to his own philosophy. Then I came to know that he read Bhagavad Gita. We say Bhagavad Gita, and they say simply Gita. He showed Gita during the interview. Then he showed. So I was very much happy. Precisely, I got goosebumps when I heard that he read Gita. Then I told them that I purchased Gita at discounted prices, and I gifted books to some people, especially in the gym, and the people who have the similar ideas of religion. So then I gifted Gita, and that guy, the host, also read Gita, and he talked various aspects of his own philosophy. Then we enjoyed a lot that conversation. So now again one more interview I am going to attend, which will be I think which will be a podcast that would be in Telugu. So I have to speak in Telugu, but I am not comfortable to speak in my Telugu language. Of course, I am a Telugu by birth, but I am not able to speak confidently. Okay, there is a different aspect. So I have one more interview. So hopefully I will get more and more opportunities to speak on philosophy. So as I go along, so I get more and more ideas, and I'll work on them and create my own philosophy, which I have not titled it. Then today also I googled about Chanakya philosophy. Then I googled about ethics and philosophy, whether philosophy and mindfulness exist. So like that couple of aspects I googled and noted the points. So much is in the store. It takes time. So let me take a moment here. This is T-Mobile Park. This is a Space Needle, and you can see the Pacific Ocean here, and you can see long containers. You can see the aircraft. That is a Delta aircraft at the top. That's a Delta aircraft. So let me tell you again. Space Needle, skyscrapers. Then you can see the Pacific Ocean and big buildings. Then you can see T-Mobile Park. Then you can see Jefferson Park. Then you can see Medical Center. So these are all the excellent viewpoints. I request you to consider subscribing to my YouTube channel, and I am uploading videos regularly, and whatever the ideas I get, I share with you, and I request you to consider subscribing to my YouTube channel, because I want to share my stories to impact humankind. So, and despite having the health challenges, I am still doing it. So I hope you have enjoyed this viewpoint, and these are all the things. Then I will start and walk. I will walk and talk. Okay. Now let me revert to this philosophy. So I am going to be interviewed on my philosophy. So I am at to develop my own philosophy. It takes time, and I think it's my lifetime philosophy. That will be the final philosophy in my life. So this philosophy will is a product of my years of passion for knowledge. So I have given some tagline for my philosophy, that is, truth is wisdom. That's the tagline. Tentatively I have created my philosophy. So I started my own philosophy, which is on education, which is related to education. Tentatively I have given a tagline, truth is wisdom. That's the tagline I have given for my philosophy. So I will keep changing, and depending upon the more research I do, and I'm very sure and I'm very confident that I will create my own philosophy like Socrates, and I want to impact humankind. So this will be my lifetime philosophy, and I will also publish a book on philosophy. Not now. First I have to overcome my brain stroke, and so once I overcome the challenges, I will publish a book which will be my own philosophy, and I want to create something new to impact humankind. So this is briefly about my philosophy, and I'll switch over to the next topic. So now, so I observe people, and I learn from people, and I listen to people. So like this I do various things. When you want to grow, you have to listen first, then you have to empathize with others. You should listen to the people, and you should empathize with people, so that you can grow as a leader. Empathy is very much required. People rarely empathize. Most of the people, they talk, they don't listen to others, they talk. So what I would like to share with everyone is that when somebody is asking something, we should listen to them carefully, and if there is any inner noise, that we have to suspend. We have to suspend the judgment while listening, and we have to listen attentively and carefully, so that some cues will help us to learn things and grow as a leader. Then you should you must empathize with others. So then when you do so, you're likely to grow as a leader. So this is briefly about my philosophy. First I introduced myself. I started my conversation with Wayne. He shared his mobile number with me, and he's an American veteran, and he was Vietnam. He was in Vietnam, and he's I think around 70 years plus, and he's he's old, and his name is Wayne. So he gave his number. So I shared saved the number with me, and this is then again I introduced myself. Then again I talked. Then I shared with you about my philosophy. So now I will talk briefly about my life. Just a moment. So luckily there is no rain, but weather is not favorable. That is but sure. Luckily there is no rain. As I said, the weather is unpredictable. Sometimes it rains, sometimes it drizzles, sometimes it's foggy, sometimes cloudy. The weather in Seattle is unpredictable. Now we are entering into winter season. Just I want to walk forward, then I will start my life in brief. I'll speak my life in brief. So I talked with guys some time back. Then I discontinued. Then again I started my conversation. So I think I'll upload 2 videos now. Right? So now I'll upload 2 videos now. After I return, now I'm returning. It takes again 25 minutes to return home. Then I'll upload my videos. Okay. I introduced myself, then I shared with you about my philosophy. Now I will talk about my life in general. I was born on October 31st, 1963 in a tiny village, and my childhood was very chaotic. I could not enjoy my childhood, and my father was a litigant and alcoholic and disorganized, and my mother is a naysayer and a very complicated woman, and I was cursed with toxic siblings. So this is briefly about my introduction. Then again, I would like to share with everyone is that so we can't blame the where we were born. That's not in our hands. But what we can do is we can create our own destiny, right? So forget whining and complaining, avoid criticizing, condemning. So instead, focus on positivity and keep moving. So I was born on October 31st, 1963. For 18 years, I was in my native place, and sometimes I used to clean the dishes in a tea stall. Sometimes I would collect cash. I supported my father in my childhood, and I could not enjoy my childhood life. And luckily I joined Indian Air Force when I was 18 years old. So I was very lucky that I came out of the toxic family and became a healthy citizen in the Indian Air Force, and I got into good friend circle, and I developed a positive attitude. Then I served in the Indian Air Force in the lowest rank of a corporal for 12 years. Again, don't think that I was a commissioned officer. I served in the lowest rank of a corporal for 12 years, and I joined Indian Air Force on 4th February 1982 in Secunderabad in India. Then 5th February 1982 I went to Tamaram to acquire my training, and it was a cultural shock because I was not able to adjust with Air Force because my food habits, other habits were not good. I started reinventing and I was adapting because I was very young at that time, and I had a dream to serve my country. So luckily I joined Indian Air Force. So joining in the Indian Air Force was an aha moment in my life, right? Then every month I used to send 400 rupees to my to support my parents. That was the first salary I received from Indian Air Force, and I gave my money to support my family members. Then I gave my money to purchase gold. I gave my money to construct a home. Then I funded for the education of my younger sister. Then I also funded one of my friends, which I never took back. So like that, lots of things I have done it. So within my limitations, whatever was possible, I did it, and I gave my money to construct the home. But unfortunately, I was my property was taken away, and I was crushed by my own siblings, and I was betrayed. So it was a lesson in my life, so not to trust people blindly. So take your own precautions. So for 12 years I was in the Indian Air Force. Then my father invited me to join business, so I left the Air Force and I joined Indian Air Force. Unfortunately, my father-in-law and brother-in-law, they backstabbed and betrayed. That was one more challenge. So then I did business, which didn't work out. Then finally I moved and became a faculty member in the year 2007. Then when I was in the Indian Air Force itself, I acquired 6 qualifications. They are a DME from Aeronautical Engineering from Indian Air Force, BSc, which I discontinued. Then again I continued by paying condonation fee, and I got a BSc from Andhra University. Usually a degree takes 3 years, but for me it took more than 4 years. It was very difficult, but I paid a condonation fee and I attended tuitions. Then I got my MA in Sociology. I got Ph.D. BM from Ministry of Defense, and I got MBA through correspondence course from IGNOU, New Delhi. I got my PGDCLL when I was in the Jodhpur, a night college I attended. So like this I worked very hard. I used to go to far distant places to acquire knowledge, because in those days there was lack of information. I was very curious and creative. I wanted to acquire knowledge. So I used to go to various libraries in Jodhpur, other places in the Indian Air Force, and I prepared notes and took tests and took my qualifications. I earned these qualifications, and I sacrificed my personal time in the Indian Air Force. And usually 2 months in a year we get annual leave, then we get 1 month casual leave. So all the time I sacrificed to acquire my knowledge, and I acquired 6 qualifications. Then again, people might think that I acquired qualifications from reputed universities like Cambridge or Harvard, but the reality was that everything was through private education. And that too, I started with the Telugu language, then I migrated and adapted, and still I have problem in communicating with the people because of my Indian accent. So that I can't help it, but despite all the limitations I kept moving. And 2007 I became a faculty member. At that time education helped me overcome my adversity. Adversity means MBA was required to become a faculty member in engineering college. Then I already acquired my MBA. Usually MBA takes 3 years, but for me it took 5 years to get my MBA. So all private education with lots of distractions and challenges, but I acquired qualifications. So the main advantage with me, the main strength with me is that I never give up. I'm very persistent by nature. I'm very consistent in my contribution, and I'm very persistent by nature. So I don't give up. When I take up a task, I'll try my level best to execute. So that's what I did it. So 2007 was a turning point. I became a faculty member and I joined for Ph.D. And 2010 I got my I made my debut as an author in the year 2010, and I published 53 books and published 300 research papers. I published more than 1,000 articles from the year 2010. That means for 14 years, 14 to 15 years, I worked very hard and I did all those things. And 2010 I became an author. Then again I didn't know which direction I had to go, and then I started with non-fiction, and I started writing whatever was coming to my mind. I was writing. Then I entered. I published books in the area of non-fiction. Then on education, learning, training, then mindfulness, diversity. So like the different areas I entered, and the challenge with me was that I didn't have any coach, I didn't have any guide, I didn't have any mentor. There was nobody to support me, there was no one to encourage me. On the other hand, my own relatives were trying to stop my work. So you can imagine the challenges I encountered. When I want to do something, people will come, especially relatives. They will try to, they will throw the work, they will throw the spanner into my work. That's how they used to do. So I did. I earned my Ph.D. in the year 2011, which I didn't disclose to anybody. Later on, I disclosed. So like this, lots of challenges I encountered in my life, and there was no consistency in my education, because whatever the opportunities were available, I availed and acquired 6 qualifications. Then subsequently I got my PhD in soft skills. Then again I published 53 books, all in different genre, because I didn't have any guide, I didn't have any coach. So because of these challenges, I could not succeed in one particular area. If I had a guide, if I had a coach, if I had a mentor, my life would have been easier and I would have grown in one particular area. So this is briefly about my journey, and now I want to enter into a new genre. That is, I want to write my own memoir, tentatively titled Survivor. The book title is Survivor, and I have to write that book, and the title of the book is Survivor, where this book talks about my brain stroke, my health challenges, betrayals by my own family members, especially my father-in-law and brother-in-law, and also the family where I was born into. And I would like to share everything through storytelling, and I want to publish a memoir tentatively titled Survivor. So these are all the things I have done. This is briefly about my life, and so then I'll move to the next level. So let me share with you. I started with my introduction, then again I shared about my philosophy, then I shared briefly about my life from my birth, 1963 October 31st to till date. These are all. This is my bio, and I hope you will consider subscribing to my YouTube channel, and then I'll move on to the next topic. Now I'll briefly talk about India and America. So this will be a different topic. America is a land of opportunities. America is a land of dreams. America is a land of immigrants. America is a land of opportunities. America is a land of dreams, and America is the number 1 country in the world, and it has got lots of resources, military power, all kinds of powers it has got, and democracy is thriving. This is about democracy. Then again I talk about India. India is a very great country, but a developing country. Hopefully we will become a developed country by 2047, and our past was not proper, because we got freedom from India after a lot of struggle, and we were colonized and exploited by British. So that was the challenge, and we didn't get things on a platter. So lots of challenges are involved with India, and still India is a developing country, but I'm very optimistic that India is very strong. Why? Because America is the oldest democracy and India is the largest democracy. There is a synergy between India and America. Here the slogan is democracy trumps, and leaders come and go. That is different. but democracy is ultimate. We stick to democracy, and we emphasize democracy. Democracy means Abraham Lincoln said, it's for the people, by the people, of the people, right? This is about democracy, and we have to strengthen democracy, because when we live in a democratic world, we have freedom and we get opportunities. We can explore things. So these are all the advantages of having a democracy. And let me, I'm taking a break here. I'm walking and talking. So let me walk forward, then I will continue my story. Both America and India are great country. India is great. Why? Because why it's great? Because we advocate Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. That means we believe that the entire world is one family. We believe in fraternity and brotherhood. Of course, India has got its own challenges. India has many challenges. Major challenges are black money and bureaucracy and corruption. These are all the challenges in India. So we have to address them. And secondly, India is the largest. India is the biggest populated country in the world. Earlier, China was number one. Now India is number one in population. So there are so many advantages with India, because more than 50% of the people in India are young. That is the advantage we are having. And if young people who are millennials and centennials, if they work hard with the right spirit, then India will become a very powerful country in the world. So these are all the advantages we are having. Only thing, we need to inculcate a positive attitude, strong attitude, and right attitude. And we should shed negativity. We should focus on positivity. We have to focus on growth, because lots of opportunities are there in India. So we have to leverage the democratic. We have to strengthen the democratic institutions, and we have to leverage the young people who are more than 50% in number. So these are all the advantages. And but again, India has got challenges. We don't have good neighborly relations with Pakistan, then China. So lots of challenges are there. You can't choose everything, but you have to work within the constraints. You have to work within the constraints and to lead effectively. So when we have very good neighborly relations with Pakistan and China, and definitely we will prosper, and other countries will also prosper. So like that. So we should. This is the advantage of India. India's greatness. India is not an easy country. People think to rule a country like India is very difficult, because we have to follow the first thing we have to follow is democracy. Then in democracy, some people, they will try to pull the legs down. They will try to pull down the legs. Then we have to manage. So it's very challenging. So one of the leaders I admire is Lee Kuan Yew. He developed Singapore without having natural resources, without human resources. Still, Lee Kuan Yew had a vision and developed, and Singapore is a very prosperous country. Of course, Singapore has got a strategic advantage. It connects all countries. That's one thing. But still, Lee Kuan Yew managed the compulsions, all the things, then led. And he was a great leader, and I admire Lee Kuan Yew. Then Lee Kuan Yew was asked a question by media. Once he could lead in India, once he could leave Singapore globally, I mean, how once we could lead Singapore successfully, why can't you lead a country like India? Then Lee Kuan Yew clearly said, India is India and Singapore is Singapore. That means India is very big in size, lot of diversity, and people, their food habits, languages, everything are different. So it's very difficult to manage a country like India. That's what said by Lee Kuan Yew. And now currently Modi, two teams he successfully led. Now Modi 3 team is in the shape with strong democratic institutions. Hopefully Sri Narendra Modi will lead effectively and make it a great country in the world. And right now India is respected by various other countries because of the leadership of Sri Narendra Modi, right? So every leader has advantages and disadvantages. We have to look at the positive sides, and no leader is entirely good, no leader is entirely bad. All leaders come with their own advantages and disadvantages. So we have to work within the prevailing situations, and so that we can lead effectively and we can impact. Whether it's India or America, the basic philosophy is democracy trumps. Whether Donald Trump wins or Joe Biden trumps wins, ultimately the democracy trumps. People come and go, but the leadership is very permanent. We have to stick to the basic leadership rules and regulations, and you have to work on them, and we have to work within the democratic institutions. And we can't talk about totalitarian regimes, military regimes like I think North Korea, then China, then again Russia. They have their own pattern, but we have a different pattern where we find we thrive on democracy, we emphasize basic values. So these are all the aspects I am sharing with you. And now I am coming close to the home, so I will wrap up my conversation and I will share with you some valuable insights, because I am a storyteller, and my way of teaching or training is very structured, and in between I take liberty from various aspects. Then again I connect the dots, and then I structure my content and share. So now let me start how I structure my content. I introduced myself, and I talked about my philosophy. Then again I talked about my brief biography. Then I talked about democracy of India and America, how to leverage and to be successful. So these are all the aspects I have shared through storytelling, and I request you to consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. And why I am sharing all these things is that despite having health challenges, I am still holding. Why? Because I believe in acquiring my knowledge and sharing my knowledge. I am passionate about acquiring my knowledge and sharing my knowledge. That's one thing. Secondly, I am a storyteller too. Third, despite limitations, I am doing my best, and I can't upload polished videos, so I am uploading only raw videos. So please empathize with me, because I am not a tech savvy, I am not a digital savvy. I am 61 years old, so I am working within my limitations with It's the bad tradesman who blames his tools. It's the right tradesman who will avail the existing tools. So this is what I learned from the military and the world. So it's the bad tradesman who blames his tools. It's the good tradesman who will utilize the existing tools and achieve the desired outcome. So let me work on what I am having despite constraints, despite health limitations, and still I am holding my smartphone with my left hand. It's very painful and stressful. So please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. So I want to share my final message. So let me check my own face. So friends, I hope you enjoyed my story. I hope you enjoyed my storytelling. I hope you enjoyed various aspects of leadership. And when I share something, I mean it. In the sense, you take only whatever is required. And because why I am sharing all these things, despite challenges, because I am sharing my knowledge. And some of the aspects you can take it, and some of the aspects if you don't like, you can discard. Take only whatever is relevant, appropriate, and when you do so, you can work. So don't complain, don't criticize, and don't condemn. Be positive and be optimistic. Life is all about possibilities. Enjoy every moment of your life. Life is amazing. Life is beautiful. Life is magic. Life is creative. And now I'm exhausted, so let me take breath. So friends, practice gratitude with gratitude.